Hey guys, you have probably seen me from a couple of devs listened, 1%, MrPokke, etc. But if you are a Genshin Impact user, a Genshin Impact player, probably have seen me as the guy that first started playing Genshin Impact way back in 2024. Yep, like the first thing I did when I quit my corporate job back on the 13th of March 2024. I still remember to this day. The first thing I did after I quit my corporate was to start my Sabaton and play Genshin Impact for the first time in 2024. Ever since then, I've been taking it extremely chill, right? Very chill. The hell of my executive account managers as well. Playing through the story, zero concern about meta, zero concern about like rotations, team comms, yada yada. I mainly just want to be there for the story, and whenever a new patch drops here and there, I'll try to keep up, right? Nowadays, I think for the past couple of months, Genshin definitely has taken quite a little bit of a backseat, but I do enjoy being a tourist in Genshin Impact because it's kind of like the best of both worlds. I don't have to spend that crazy amount of time to min-max while also appreciating the story in which, you know, I have a ton of experience all the way from, I think still to this day. Yeah, I think the only two scenes where I like, you know, got a little bit more emotional is like Sumeru, that one scene with like Nilo dancing.
I'd be lying if I said I had no regrets. I would have loved to see Nilou's dance.
Wait a minute, I saw something strange. Oh my god, MrPokke actually cried on Genshin Impact.
And Nervlet, where he was at People or Fontaine. But okay, that's usual, right? But in either case, today is gonna be a pretty interesting topic, and we just finished up watching the live stream for one of the longest live stream I've watched for Genshin Impact, like I think 1 hour and 40 over minutes. There were a lot of features mentioned, right? There was the Eidolons, which, you know, for each unit you get 1 Eidolon, up to 4 different units, so that's 4 Eidolons. You have a free Aino and a free, I think that the free permanent 5-star, which has the Yuzuha, Mizuko, thingamabob. The relics, right? The relics with the 3 sub-stat relics, you get to see what's coming for the 4th stat, right? Which is pretty crazy. Double clear, right? Double drop that you can spend on stamina twice when you're farming relics. Okay, artifacts, right? Artifacts, right? You can spend 2x, or if you want to do the triple thing, you can do the 3 times the rewards, which is very nice, and all that kind of stuff. But today's topic, right? The main thing today, or rather for this particular video, is going to be this Masterless Stellar Fortuna. So essentially, if you guys haven't seen the live stream and you kind of want to summarize what this is about, essentially, when I first saw it, I thought it was gonna be like the HSR variation, where any excess dupes you've got for like a 5-star unit, right? Assuming you already get them at E6, or in this case C6, you get this Masterless Stellar Fortuna. So in HSR, in Honkai Starbucks, for a gold companion, right? The gold version, you get exchange a limited 5-star. Currently, it's gonna be either Luocha or Runmei, but in reality, it's really just Runmei or Runmei. For the silver dupes, you get to change it for all the different ones, but not really use them for the standard 5-stars. Or if you really just think you have way too much money, you can change the gold companion tokens into reroll, right? Variable dices to reroll for Relic RNG in Honkai Star. In Genshin Impact, this Masterless Stellar Fortuna is not a special currency which you would purchase from like the dupe shop in Honkai Star Rail, right? There's no redemption for like a brand new Eidolon or like an Eidolon you don't have or like a 5-star you don't have. This is a special currency which uncaps your unit's max level from level 90 to 95 and from level 95 to level 100, which theoretically means if you're someone that has been playing Genshin for a long time, right? I mean, this point, this game is like 5 years old by now. And on top of that, if you have been spending like a jobber amount of money in Genshin Impact, you would have probably gotten a C6 here and there after playing this for 5 years. I mean, I genuinely don't know. I'm not sure if like relatable players will get C6 after playing this for 5 years. Yeah, so for those players who have like an obscene amount of dupes, what the devs basically said is that they would have tracked every single one of your pool since version 1.0 until this day, and they would then compensate players with like the equivalent amount of Masterless Stellar Fortuna. First of all, that's hella fucking scary. It means that if you guys like hack the game or like buy Genshin Impact with like, you know, illegal means or like whatever, they know, right? Because they track every single goddamn pools you have ever made in your entire lives. So that's that. Second of all, this also means that if you are gonna be a player that did not get as many dupes or did not get like this kind of like Masterless Stellar Fortuna, it means that if you're gonna be comparing unit to unit, the additional dupes from this currency would mean you have a higher base stat for attack, HP, and defense. To my knowledge, I think that's pretty much it, right? It increases your base attack, HP, and defense. There's no changes to your tracers. There's no changes to your abilities. There's no like additional like level 15 ultimates or whatever. It is base attack, HP, defense. So this brings us to the elephant in the room. Because the moment this thing dropped, I'm not sure if my editor can find out the footage. The moment this thing dropped back in life, oh my god, my chat exploded, bro. My chat exploded. It's like, oh my god, war. Oh my god, pay to win, war. And like, bro, the chat was legitimately going crazy. All right, and that very. So if my editor can find a clip, play this clip right here.
就是提升你队伍当中任意角色的等级上限。
Whoa! What
直接提升至100级。
What the actual fuck am I looking at?
进行加强了。
Whoa! Then immediately after this, they hit us with the up to 4 different units. You can get 1 constellation for 4 different units, which is up to 4 constellations. I'm not sure if it's every single year or just this year, but it's up to 4 constellations, which is like, whoa, crazy constellation. And then afterwards, they went to the music, blah, 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 everything from there. So I don't really have a chance to really like touch on this yet. So right now, as a Genshin Impact tourist, I kind of just want to see like how people are kind of feeling about this. But before we explore that, I'll just say my 2 cents first. And then I'll just let my chat, my Genshin elitist, Hoyo Shell, Genshin Impact main playing since day one, I'll let a couple of them take over. I even made them fatter. Right? You can see my chat, they're like way fatter now. So you can kind of see what it is. But to be completely fair, I don't think my chat is probably like the definition of a Genshin Impact chat, because when I ask my chat for like Genshin Impact advice, it's literally always a 50-50. Half of them say I should not be using Cassante with La Uma, and other half is like, oh my, you should use it with La. So I don't even know at this point, right? So in any case, my 2 cents first. I can literally see the future of how the narrative can be painted in 2 separate ways. The war way, right? The players who hate Genshin Impact, it is like, oh my god, this is the end. Pay to win. It's over. whales are gonna have an insane advantage over the free-to-plays. More base attack, more HP. And on top of that, there's also the whole precedent scenario, right? Okay, what precedent does this set for the future mechanics in Genshin Impact, alright? Oh my god, now day one they add this. Then tomorrow they're gonna add more trace levels, more ultimate levels, more abilities, right? And or what if we have like E7, E8, E9, right? So I can already see that side of argument, because that was the exact same argument that happened for Caster's global passive. I played these games before, right? I'm like, oh, global passive. What precedent would this set for the game of Honkai Star Rail? It is over. Now every single unit is gonna be like a mass pool, power creep, and all that kind of stuff. And if you don't have a global passive, you are actually done, right? The precedent of like what of a future global passive and etc. etc. So I can already see that being the trend of argument for the Warriors, right? And then on the flip side, I can also see where people say it ain't that deep, right? It's base stat increase. And if anything, whales will feel a little bit happier after getting so many dupes to do absolutely fucking nothing, while not really impacting the population. Because at the end of the day, Genshin Impact is not Uma Musume. There's no champions meeting in Spiral Abyss, right? And even if there was gonna be like this kind of stuff, base stat is base stat. So, me personally, as a Genshin Impact tourist, it doesn't matter me in the slightest, because I know I'm never ever going to be getting a E6 or a C6 in my entire life. I don't think I can. Alright, but I can't even get Skirk, so AYA, right? And whether or not this gets implemented into the game, to me as a tourist, let's assume I care about endgame content, right? Let's assume I care about endgame content. It would be a little bit more of a oof, yikes, if the inclusion of these Masterless Stellar Fortuna leads to an environment in which endgame content is going to be tailored towards these level 100 units. But this also means that you are going to be going with the assumption that Genshin Spiral Abyss always tailors to the highest end of the player base. And I don't know if that's true, because that means that only C6 players will have a good time clearing Spiral Abyss. And if you're running C0 units in Genshin, you are absolutely beyond utterly fucked. And maybe I might be, right? Because I don't even know how to play this game that much. I know this game is probably not like Honkai Star Rail, where the sheer environment is that crazy. And if at this day and age you don't have like a vertical investment for your teams, you are kind of lucky. Perhaps I'll leave it up to the Genshin Impact mains. But even if I was somebody that cares about endgame in Genshin, it would be stinky if my level 80 E0 units, or rather level 90 E0 units, are gonna be getting cooked because I don't have access to these level 100 stats. And from what I can roughly tell, I'm not sure if that's gonna be the case. So that's only assuming I even care about the endgame. But as a Genshin Impact tourist casual jobber, I actually really don't play Genshin Impact for the endgame, like at all. Which is why, to me, it serves a grand total of like 0 difference whether or not this was implemented to the game. So that's my 2 cents. Now, I'm gonna start eating my bibimbap. Maybe I'll narrate a couple of points from chat, and I'll let my Genshin Impact chat take it away from the top right hand corner. This feels like FGO grill system but worse, but I think the feature is fun to hyper invest in your favorite units because you like them while not changing the gameplay too much, although there will be a way to do that even as a free to play. I think you should finish all of the remaining Archon quests. Ubu. In HSR, Trace level 11 needs mats and $100. Base has effect things like reaction damage, and Bennett, whose attack buff scales with his base attack. Okay, it would have been better to have level 100 as a grind rather than a gacha barrier. It would not benefit attack and HP skills as much, but it's a significant buff to all characters based on transformative reactions like Hybrid Bloom, Lunar Charge, Swirl, TLDR. It is unfair. They should make watering waves in Genshin and make all characters free. Oh, okay. The game is pay to win from day one. What differences does it make for a free-to-play or low spender when C6 already exists? PvP doesn't exist. Level 100 is like C7 or C8. F2P or low spender wouldn't bother with these anyways. People getting upset over this is being disingenuous and looking for a chance to stir drama. Happy partner anniversary. People were proposing that level 100 would buff weak characters by adding one or more ascension passive to improve damage. It's buns. Imagine in HSR there's a new level 90 uncapped and the requirement is having Welt and Himiko and Kalala at E6. People worry about level 100 are the same people that worry about global passive. Okay. If you can't clear Stygian with level 90s, you aren't clearing in level 100s. You know what? I've been trying to get E6 Archer, but trying to do the same assignment with level 100 thing, I would have that doubt in me. This system doesn't affect my gooning, so they can keep milking the whales. Unlock glove relic stock is for $50. Now, people are completely missing the point of this Fortuna. It's for whales with E6 units that can't even do dire. They are whales for a reason. Constellation exists. We are complaining about that few stats increase for level 100. Holy hoyo shows. Honestly, I don't really care because Genshin is still pretty casual. You don't need these unless you're greedy and stupid, so this wouldn't matter. Stygian onslaught difficulty 5 is also optional. Exactly. The thing is, HSR is for C8, something that you can easily gain access. It's otherwise just better PD. Level 95 or level 100 cannot be accessed in any ways. Otherwise, it is not chip. It's E6 or E7, E8. Enemies are level 100, 105, or 110. Having level 100 will reduce their rest and increase your damage. It's a good feature to support long-term players and for those who have supported it financially. On the whole thing, I think this is a more net positive than negative. More net positive than negative. They are not making the game more difficult because that was already a complaint they addressed in livestream. I say no skip button out of 10. Okay, my level 80 character is still clearing Abyss till this day. Yo, chat. Genshin players literally don't even level light cones to level 60, by the way. Every single HSR guy, they left their light cones at level 60, and then like they just don't level 80. Because like Genshin means. Because in Genshin, you don't need to max level. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. People worry about level 100. Okay, exceptional. I love you, MrPokke. The really only bad thing about this is essentially logging out 99% of the player base from reaching max level, and that is kind of bad, optically speaking. The level 100 thing is for whales to clear Stygian assault faster. Now we do level them, the people who don't level them are casuals. Levels matter in Honkai Star Rail and not in Genshin, but I still don't like how the system is inaccessible otherwise. Okay, depends on what your definition of power creep. New characters deal more damage, yes, but most characters can be used to clear endgame content. Genshin also have a lot of usable 4-star and alternative weapons. Man, fuck Genshin. Genshin suck. I don't know, man. Just play other game. Wait, bro, who the hell banned him? Bro, please, bro. This is an open piece of... Bro, this is a council, bro. It's like everybody's comments are welcome, right? This is a safe space, right? Y'all can say whatever the fuck. Just don't say slurs. Y'all can say whatever the fuck y'all want to say, right? Exceptional. Your football... Bro, I haven't even touched a single bite, by the way. Because I'm such a good streamer. I haven't even touched a single bite of my dinner. And at what time is it now? Bro, it's 10 p.m. I haven't eaten anything, by the way. Talents are the same agents, by the way. It's free damage, so you have to max it. This increase is the equivalent of getting a C1 for a newer character or a C2 of an older character at its strongest. So the system is an additional way to improve your characters. This just looks very, very bad. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. It kind of does. All the transformative reaction scales really hard on level, and they start balancing shit around level 100, then yeah, TBH, most of CN and JP likes it. Okay. Also, free-to-plays can literally collect Primo Gems and spend it on your favorite characters, like spend it on a C8 Farina and make her level 100. MrPokke is bald. Okay. Okay, yep, we see that. I'm not even saying that. I'm saying that even without level mattering, it still sucks. The fact that they still do matter is just a cherry on top for me. It's about a 5% damage increase. Okay, chat. I just want to know. People have went to war for far less, by the way. Remember 43311 and 44111? That was a war, guys. Like, we keep joking about it right now, the 4331144. Bro, back then when Watering Waves first came out, the 433 and 441, it was a legit war. People have went to war for these kind of percentage decimal changes, right? So I can completely see why war is... Bro, it's not even war is coming. War has came, right? War has came all over, and it's not gonna go. It's like a huge pile of war spinning over my desk right now. War has came, right? We literally don't know if level 90 to level 100 means the same scaling. Okay, shit, that was crazy. As a whale myself, I need to test it to see if it makes a big difference. CN and JP also like global passive Lamau. If they add 2-piece swimsuit Yai Miko and Yelan and Eula, all is forgiven. Okay, min-max damage. Can I say this? Absolutely not. Why do I... 10 levels worth of base stats is a really big deal for some characters, not gonna lie. Feels really bad to lose out on that. Logging character level progression behind paywall is already dumb. They should give everyone a free ramen light code in Genshin to make... Bro, everybody should be getting a free Tasande. T1 action value advance, built-in dance, built-in rest pen, built-in... Bro, this is the Sunday, right? So right, exceptional for every EM unit, unless they actually inflate HP according to level 100 characters. I just don't see any problem with it, but that's just theoretical like Lopez. Okay, chat. I kind of want to ask this question, right? As a Genshin Impact, right? Not even as a gacha connoisseur, right? As a gacha connoisseur, there are locked power scalings, right? The percentages, like your damage numbers. They are locked behind E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6. I think since day one, guys. So, what is the difference of this compared to locking a unit behind the islands? Do that make sense? Because I'm not sure how it's like in Genshin, but in HSR, I think a lot of people know by now, supports E1 are like a huge quality of life update. And DPS E2 nowadays are a huge quality of life update. And those are all locked behind islands. So what is the difference for these base stats increase being locked behind C7? Okay, I guess it's C7 and C8, right? It's technically like they're 7-8 dupes. It's basically extra. Bro, it's a little bit like if HSR makes C7, C8, except the C7, C8 is like the C5s and C3s. The E3, E5s were the increase or stat increase. So for this time, they added it as like C7, C8, but it's just base stats. So you can say free to play for constellations. No free to play is gonna have that many C6 units. In Genshin, a lot of people stay for a year and half get one E6 on their favorite unit. So now they feel bad they cannot max their character. Okay, I think that is pretty fair. So you basically cannot get more than C6 unless you C6 the standard units. Is that it? That's how it works, right? So if like some people save up all in for C6, but to get C7, C8, you need to max out a standard to get that this thingy, and then you feed it back into your C6, essentially. Okay. More raw stats will never beat extra kit stuff. It's because the character they're selling is not a leveling they can attain by not paywalling it. Idolin is a bonus, level is character progression. Okay, just play until next year so you can C6 a standard character. Okay, most EM based characters, all new regions are EM based, get up to 40%. Wait, chat, fact or cap? Fact or cap? Wait. 40%. Is this fact? Okay, guys. 40%, 40. From level 90 to level 100 because they are EM based. Prove it is true. And once again, my chat proving that they are actually Genshin Impact tourists because chat is like 50-50 once again. I have no idea. Okay, if it's 40% increase, oh, that is kind of crazy, not gonna lie. It's kind of crazy. At least people who always do 50-50 won't feel too bad. Level, okay, I know level actually matters. It's like super break. It's like your Firefly break damage is scales based on level, which is why you always level up your Firefly like going on Firefly levels, because break damage scales over level. I completely understand it. I completely understand it. EM based variations are based on levels, yeah, but 40% sounds like an insanely big gap though. Okay, and I feel like at the end of the day, this still comes back to like the point is, which is the implementation of Masterless Stellar Fortuna is because they are gonna give the indirect upgrade for C7, C8. This might as well just be C7, C8, right? Except that this C7, C8 you can only get after you C6 a standard unit, essentially. So even if players want to get a C7, C8, they technically cannot get it unless they get them from standard units, right? Because you don't pull for this specifically. It's like when you lose your 50-50s over time, and when you pull standard banners, and you get more than 7 copies of that unit, you get this to feed into your favorite waifus and enhanced bundles. All that kind of stuff. Oh, you can also get it from max MLB 5 stars. Is that how it works? Okay, wait, so check. If I have a C6 Farina, and if I get another Farina, can this go into my Farina? Or it don't work that way? Oh, it works? Okay, it works. So as long as any unit with a C6, you get this copy, it can get added. Okay, so it basically is trying to pull for C7, C8, right? It's basically C7, C8. Some C6 are as strong as Fontaine Netherlands C0s. Literally told you there is no difference. TVH free to play can literally collect people. Okay, so what I thought you guys were saying, like, you can't even get them unless you get standards. So it's not true. You can get them if you want them. So if there's a Farina banner right now, and I have a C6 Farina, and I want to make my Farina C8, I will pull on the Farina banner, and then this thing will pop up, and then I will get a C8 Farina. Yes, yes. So I'm basically pulling for an extra constellation. Okay. So every free-to-play now has to vertical invest instead of getting multiple. Okay, but why do free-to-plays need this though? Because at the end of the day, there's a C7, C8, right? Wouldn't you say like free-to-plays would want, like if we're talking about vertical investment in Genshin Impact, wouldn't they still want like the E0s and like the E1s? Like the E1s for their E0s. Assuming that constellations work in Genshin the same as HSR, right? Like the biggest quality of life updates are from your E1s and E2s. And then if you hit E6, then that's like Giga Whale territory, which is not even like a concern for free-to-plays in the first place. It's a little bit like, whether or not this gets implemented, I don't think free-to-plays will ever see this, period. Like they will never ever get Masterless Stellar Fortuna, whether this gets added free-to-play. Just like how a free-to-play would probably not get their C6 unless they really just saved everything and about to buy their entire bank account all in saved up for the one C6. And they can get the C6. Yeah? Like if they really, like if free-to-play really wanted it, to get a C6, they have to save everything. They have to save everything. It's more about character progression. Why not just at C7? Okay, wait. That is a great question. So, would it be better if they added C7, C8, but with additional effects? Like way stronger than your base attack, by the way. Like C7 is like C7 effects. Like you double your damage or something. Or like you do an extra attack. Or like you gain more skill. Like C7, C8 level warrior effects behind C7. Or is it better if they just did base stats increase for C7, C8? Because that is definitely character progression, right? Because if you want to see character progression based on like levels, from level 90 to level 100, islands and levels, they are fundamentally ways to make your unit feel stronger. You know what I'm saying? And both ways, if they are going to be locking behind a C7 or C8, wouldn't it be worse if they make the C7, C8 like big booms, like big buffs, instead of base stats increase? You get what I'm saying? Sev gets it all for free. Okay, like Mega Whales would have gotten this regardless, right? And the free-to-plays would have not gotten these regardless. Like generally speaking, most free-to-plays would not get a C6, generally speaking, unless you really wanted it. And if you really wanted it, then you would have been getting yourself the additional base stats if you really wanted a C7, C8. And I don't even know if free-to-plays would want that, because you're spending like what, 100 and potentially 160 pools to increase your base stats compared to like an E6 or like an E1 for another unit. Like, would you want to spend for a C7, or would you want to spend for an E1 for another vertical investment? Because it's the same amount of pools anyways, right? At the end of the day, it is the same number of pools. You can get C7 Mona and use it on... Okay, so that is for like your standard, right? So if you lose your 50-50 and then you can give it to somebody of your like your limited unit, then it increases their level cap from 995. But I don't think anybody would intentionally pull for limited banners just to get their units from level 995, because those pools would have been spent or could have been spent on like an E1 or E2, which I guess is going to be way more impactful than base stats. Does that make sense? At the end of the day, to level upgrade using C7, leveling has been a basic mechanic in for you, now it changed. TLDR Electro, what I missed? Bro, you missed so much, bro. Unless future content is still available on level 90 characters, but time will tell. I don't know why. Oh, gotcha games. They give this thing for a year. This whole thing is a nothing burger, bro. I don't think it's gonna be a nothing burger, bro. This is gonna be the biggest burger since the history of all burger. Bob's Burgers. This is gonna be a big fucking burger, right? And I don't even play Genshin Impact, so it is gonna be crazy. Next year, level 110. Okay, that would be kind of crazy, right? So, like, imagine if every single year they add 10. Ooh, so this year C7, C8, next year C9, C10, and then the years. Oh, that would be pretty crazy. Yeah, that would be pretty crazy. After, wait, this is glorp. Why do whales need level 100 characters in a game with 0 PvP? Who are they flexing on? The Haley Cherries? Level 90 was already pain. Now we gotta deal with Giga Chats who can literally outstep my entire team just because their credit card has no cooldown. Next patch, they will sell AR-70 skip for $999 and give you a pack Haley Cherry that spits Mora at the poor. It's not even Genshin Impact. Bro, that is a W comment. Okay, you did not get banned. This is an essay, so it couldn't fit. Bro, that is a WS fine comment. It is going to be credit card impact going forward in the future, right? Excellent fucking boy. Excellent fucking boy. Okay, that is good. That is good. But unfortunately, it's a little bit too long, so it kind of got auto-modded. That's why. Honestly, it's literally the global patch. Bro, he didn't get banned. It's just he got filtered. Because the essay was way too long. Obvious. Oh no, the whales have a better account than me as a free-to-play. Where basically this is useless to me even if I get another copy with my only C6 characters. Level 110 does in fact sound crazy. TLDR, this feature is only for 1% whales, so it is a bad thing. Global passive ain't even doing nothing. Alright, 4-star. Okay, check. You guys can't type too long, guys. Because you guys type long, you will get auto model, right? 4 free constellations for event characters once a year. Once you can get 4 free constellations for any characters, every 8 weeks. Each character can receive 1 constellation this way. For this unit must be on your account. And blah blah blah. Yep, absolutely. XD, if they add C7 and the effect of 200% stronger, free-to-play people hate it more. But with this, you can literally behind 5 and 10%. And as a free-to-play, you can collect Primo and Proof of favorite credits in the same shit. But this is better as a small buff. In context for endgame, you can clear all Abyss, by the way, with E0 S0/4 stars. It's like clearing MOC 10. Wait, Genshin Impact's MOC is like MOC 10? Nah, I don't think so. Unless I'm just that much of a tourist. I remember I tried Spiral Abyss last time, bro. That should cook my ass, bro. I had like no damage. But okay, Stygian as highest is when pay to win matters. Okay. Also, if you can be diving here, you can be cooking content for MrPokke. So get your ass back to work, right? For day 1 players, maybe. Okay, that's true. I'm also under level. Yep, absolutely. If they actually balance shit we can do as a free to play around whale stuff, then fuck them legit. What? Whales are stronger than me because I am free to play. They have Cs and I have C0, yet they are stronger. Okay, chat. I think we can all agree. If someone spends money in a gacha game, they are probably gonna be having more than you as a free to play, right? Like, before we even play a gacha game, I think that is like a undisputed universal truth, right? No way! You did not know that? Wait, you guys know if someone spends money, their account will probably have better units, better light cones, more stats, more resources, more stamina, more dupes, more everything, right? Okay, so I just want to make sure that we are on the same line here, because like, it's starting to get to a point where free-to-plays are literally getting destroyed because this system was implemented and they cannot get this. Which has been the case since day 1, because generally speaking, I think free-to-plays just won't get them dupes. Generally speaking, right? Generally speaking. Because the whales, the jobbers in real life, when they want to spend money in an online predatory gacha game, they are gonna end up having more Stellar Jades. They will have more, what's the currency of this? More Primo Gems, which means they get to pool more. So, yeah. Exceptional. Okay, exceptional. Chat, I'm gonna wrap up this video. I'll take one last statement, chat. One last statement. So, in conclusion, first of all, YouTube comments, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of discussion. So, looking forward to see how that's gonna be. One final summary, TLDR. Did you know in Genshin Impact, The real happy ending is just the enders. This is like the global passage all over again. I would just quick and play an edge. Okay, you can literally be free to play and go C9 Farina. That is, you assume the free to play have the self-restraint, but I don't think most players have it. I don't think most free to play, not even free to play, most gacha players just do not have self-restraint. Because if I'm talking strictly based on the number of income free to play has, I'm pretty sure any like raw number of primo gems, you can get a C6. Right? You can get a C. The question is the FOMO, right? Ooh, the FOMO, the shield environments, the power creep, right? The marketing, the lore, the abubus, and all those things. It is very, very difficult for general gacha players to not get tempted and go like, you know the GNS, right? The GNS, alright? Genshin Impact just disrespect veteran player. Alright, chat. I'm gonna wrap this up. 40 minutes of discussion. Very, very insightful. Very, very interesting. So our word of the day is gonna be, here it comes. Join Twitch, join YouTube, join Discord, join Discord, join Twitter, join YouTube, join Patreon for our reacts, join use code both of them on all gamers apps. Yep, I'm looking forward to see how this is gonna turn out, right? Okay, bada boom, bada bing, bada bam. Bye bye.